Hello, my name is Roosevelt Simmons, and I'm one of the co-founders of AscendSocial. And what we're about to do is we're going to do a walkthrough of AscendSocial because AscendSocial is, excuse me, AscendSocial is all about saving you time and money. So we got a couple of modules that we're going to go through, and this is not going to be an in-depth training, but it's going to be more like an overview with a little flavor of training. Now, AscendSocial, what is AscendSocial? AscendSocial is a cloud-based online platform designed to help you increase your business and your brand awareness by distributing your content across multiple social media channels and engaging your audience by driving targeted traffic back to your website, your blog, or any page. Okay, so the first module we're going to go into is going to be the import text article module. And as you can see here, in this module, we have LinkedIn, Pinterest, Twitter, Facebook, Tumblr, and WordPress. But how does this all work? Let's take a look and see. So as you can see from this diagram, you see we have a distribution engine, and what you can actually import stuff out to social media, and at the same time you can import to your WordPress blog. But the beauty of this also, when you import stuff out to social media, you can make a link back to your blog post that you just imported. When we look at this, the type of articles that you can import into this particular module is a text file or a zip file. And of course the zip file is going to contain multiple text file articles, including the links with the images, all nicely packed inside that particular text file. Okay. Another thing that you see here, it says post in multiple time zones. So that means that's really relating to your blogs. You can have blogs in multiple time zones. So when you're importing stuff to them, it's going to go up based on that time zone. So that's another nice feature. And then also we have the article creator. The article creator has over 140 different categories consistent of tips. So basically, if you're one of those individuals that have a hard time trying to figure out what you want to send out to social media, or you need to create a blog post but you just can't think about what to write, well then you can use our tip database to help you with that. And then you can also schedule this to go out anytime that you want based on your needs. Okay, so this is the AscendSocial dashboard, and the module that we talked about that we're going to be covering and doing a walkthrough is the import text module. Now this is the import text module, and like with AscendSocial, everything is based on ease. You know, we got default publish setting is 1, import text articles is 2, and then publish. So in 3 steps you're going to be able to do an import and get it out to social media. And like always, like I said, you have the menu going down the left hand side, you got the menu going over the top. I like to just focus on the menu going over the top. If we take a quick look at this interface, you know you got default publish settings, so you got an immediate post, or you can schedule a post. So those are the 2 things you can do when you in the import module. So let's look at the default settings here. So in the default settings, there's a couple of things I could do. I can do a social post only. That means it's only going to go out to social media. I could do a website only. That means I'm going to only import to WordPress. And last, I can do a combination of both. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to do a combination of both, because this way we get to see how both the website, the WordPress website, and the social media work together. Now, down below, you see we have here where it says default websites to publish to. And if I click on this pull down menu, it's going to list all the websites that I want to publish to. But what we're going to do is I created a text file that we're going to import. So I'm not going to have to choose which websites that I want to choose to. And I'm not going to have to choose the default category. I'm not really worrying about the author, and I'm not worrying about the default URL. I can also upload a default image, but I'm not going to do that either, because we're going to do everything from the zip file. And then these are the social sites that I want this all to go out to. If we come over to the right hand side, you see that we can default post setting. That means that we want to publish. That's what we want. Default post or page, we want to publish to post. Require settings, we can allow comments, or we could disallow comments. Now, this is another important factor, because when you're doing the import to WordPress, your article might be 1,000 characters or more longer. You really don't want that going out to social media. So you're able to determine the snippet length of which you want to go out to social media here. And this will be the default for all the various social sites. And the time zone of our dashboard that we have set up is the East Coast. Okay, so now when we look at this interface, the thing that we have to determine what we want to do on the default setting page is do we want to upload an image? I said no. Then we can come here and we can choose what social sites we want this to go out under Facebook. Now, I didn't show this earlier, but if I click right here, I can say sent, and this is where I want it to go to. Okay, so that's an option. You can just do a type in the search box, and if you know the name of the social site you want to go to. And I'm also going to want this to go to Twitter, LinkedIn, and Pinterest. You notice when I did Pinterest, this board pops up. I have to choose where I want it to go, and I want it to go out to social media. And the last one that we have here is Twitter. So the next thing that I would have to determine is, do I want this to be a media post? That means it's going out instantaneous, or do I want this to be an import schedule? So if I click on import to schedule, the thing here is that, depending on how many articles are going to go out at one time, let's say for our example, we're going to have 3 articles. But so when I set this up, what I'm going to want to do is I'm going to determine what's the schedule I want this to go out. Maybe I might want this to go out on December the 11th to December the 15th. Maybe I might want to go out to from the 10th to December the 31st. It all depends on what I might have in my zip file, or how I actually want to send this out to either WordPress or to social media. Am I going to use the article creator, or I'm going to use a zip file, or is it going to be an independent file? So this is basically how you would set that up. It's pretty straightforward. You see, I have the time span from 12/11 to next year on the 31st, right? And then, like I said, I want to go out every day. So now if I click here and I say I want to go out 8:50, so if I was to click this, what's going to happen is going to tell me that starting December 11th of 2018 through January 31st, a post is going to go out every day at 8:50 p.m. But you know what? That's not what we want to do here, because this is a demonstration, of course, right? So I'm going to click back onto immediate. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to use a text file. All right, and this is how the text file is actually laid out, so you can see here, just to make it see. The first, I'm going a little detail, but I think it's important. So right here will be the title of your article. This would be the website that you wanted to link to. You wanted to import to. If you leave this blank, then it's gonna tell you that, you know what, you need to choose a site. And this is the image that I want to be associated with this particular post. So what I've done is I've created like 3 of these text files, right? And I zipped them up into a zip file, and it's going to have the image and everything that's going to be within them. So let me just move this out the way. So the next thing, everything I have set up here. Nothing else I want to do. I chose exactly what I want to do. So now I'm going to come over here. I'm going to say import. Now in the import section, we have 2 choices, right? I can click here and upload my text file. All right, I could drop my text file if I'm using a text file or a zip file. Okay, or what I can do is I can use the article creator, and we'll be using that next, and I'll show you that shortly. So, but for right now, for this demonstration, what we're going to be doing, we're going to be using the a zip file. So let me just find that zip file right here. Give me a second. No matter how you try to prepare for these things, they never really work out the way you want it. So this is that file. So now I'm gonna drop it. Now you remember on that first page, I never did pick up what website I want. So remember I told you that one of these text files did not have a website chosen. So this one is telling me number 2 would be that one, okay? So let me just close this. So what you see here, now at this point, I can manipulate and make changes if I want to. So this is telling me that this is the title, this is the website that this is going to be imported to, right? I also can basically say, no, I don't want it to link back to that website. I can come into our pull down menu, go to other, and I could type in a link if I want to. But for this exercise, I want to keep it going to WordPress. Okay, now at this point, if I wanted to too, I could also choose a category based on the niche maestro. So let's click here, and let's see if there's a category, lead generation. Oh, that matches up perfectly. So that's the category that I want that one to go to. So I come down to the second one. I look at it and I said, this is also a lead generation, but what website do I want this to go to? Because there's no website showing. Mom, I told you number 2. And then we go down to number 3. Number 3 is going to the nucleus zone, right? So let me come up here. So I'm going to choose the nucleus zone. I mean, this maestro. Okay. And what category do I want this to go to? Lead generation, since that's what that's about. I come down here to the nucleus zone. All right, and I want to choose a category. Now, it's up to you. You don't have to choose a category. And for this, I do not have a category for lead generation. So you know what? I'm just going to plop this under, just for this particular demonstration, I'm going to plop this under network marketing. Now, if you look down here, you'll notice that these are the social sites that I picked that I want to go out. That's the Pinterest board that I want to go out. AscendSocial, you know that'll be on each post that's going out. This is the text area, the description. And another thing too, what's going to happen is that with this, due to the fact that this is not going to go out on a schedule, what's going to happen, all 3 of these documents are going to post simultaneously, because they're not on a schedule. Okay, so but if we want to, we could jump back here and I can do a schedule. I can come back here and I can say I want this to go out on the 10th. My time now is 8:59. But you know what? I'm not going to do that. I'm going to leave it as immediate and let everything goes out. So we all set here. All right. I'm just going to type in here test. So now what we're going to do is we're going to send this out to social media. So now what's going to happen? All 3 of these documents are going to go out. So we're going to get 3 documents on each of these social sites that's going to go out simultaneously. Plus, they're going to go to these social sites. So I got a niche maestro here. I have a niche maestro here, and I think the last one I have a nucleus zone. So let's see what happens, guys. So let's click on the publish button. So this is going to send this out to social media now. And you can do different combinations, different things. There's a lot of different variations, but AscendSocial is based on it's the simplicity of what we're doing and how you have to go about posting this stuff out. And the amount of time it's going to save you when you're doing stuff like this is mind-boggling. I mean, I think the most time it really takes is sometimes when you're posting out to social media, as you can see right now. So let's let it go ahead and do its work, and then we're going to now see it's taking off. And it really doesn't really take that long for this to really work its magic and send the stuff out to social media. So when it's finished, it's going to give us an indication of what's been done. Okay, so now as you can see here, it's telling me that we have one that went out to this website. So let's click on to see that particular post, how to get your lead generation. Okay, so that's the post that went out. Okay, for that one. And let's come back here. Let's click on this one. And that's the second post. Let's come back into the niche maestro, and this one should be the nucleus zone, I would think. And that's the nucleus zone. So let's go back here and look at these one more time. Look at this one. So let's look and see what happens when we go out to social media. So I'm going to do a refresh, because this is, now we should see exactly 3 posts that went out simultaneously here. And let me just click over to the Twitter to save a little time, the Pinterest, and let's go to here and click on that one. And let's go to Tumblr and click on that one. Okay, so now with Tumblr, you see that's 1. Let me click over here to, oh, that's still working. So let's jump back here to the first one. So I got 1, 2, 3 posts. So these are the 3 posts that just went out simultaneously. Now, if we put this on the schedule, what would happen? It would schedule it out, so it all wouldn't go all at one time. So let's go to this is Twitter, and Let me do a refresh here because I'm only seeing 2 at the moment. And like I said, sometimes this stuff takes a little longer. So we're seeing 2 of the posts here. And let's go over to Pinterest. And I said I want to go, there you go right here, 1, 2, 3. These are the 3 that we were just looking at. So let's go to LinkedIn. And I think this is the image, there you go. There go the 3 for LinkedIn that we just sent out. And let's look at Mr. Tumblr. Let's see what's happening with Tumblr. Sometimes you have to come over here and let me go to post to make sure we got them. 1, 2, 3. So there you go. So those was those 3. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna jump back over here to the AscendSocial dashboard, right? And it's telling us also that all those posts went out, and it's telling us that Facebook is done, Twitter is done. So it gives you an indication of everything that actually went out to social media. So now I'm just gonna click here. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna go back to the default settings. And we're going to do another post using the article creator. So I'm just going to do a quick post here real fast. So I'm just going to click here. And I'm going to go down to my test page. Let me find that. There we go. And the next thing I want to do is I'm going to click on Twitter, LinkedIn, Pinterest. Pick that same board again, AscendSocial. Okay. One other thing too that I can do here also is I'm gonna take an image and I'm gonna slide it over here, and I could just do that as easy as that. I could drop an image in place. So I'm pretty happy with what I have here. But you know what? I might say that since I'm saying this is going to, I want this to go to the nuclear zone. All right. So now I'm going to come over here to the article creator. This happened to be lead generation, right? And I'm saying I want this to go out immediate. So I go over here till it says import text. Now, with the article creator, we have over 140 different categories to choose from. The category I'm going to choose for this demonstration has to be lead generation. You can go from 1 up to 1,000 word counts. I'm going to leave this for this, I'm going to say 450. Because it is going to WordPress, right? And we're just going to do one article. Now, what we do is we give you 200 posts per month with the article creator. I mean, once you use it, it's gone. So what we're going to do is now we're going to hit create article. And this is the default image that we had, okay? So this happened to be lead generation. I could come over here if I want to after the fact. And let me see if I have lead generation here. I'm not really sure I had lead generation there. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put it anywhere for now under affiliate marketing. And you know, these are the social sites that I had set up earlier. This is the mod, this is the text that's going to go out. Now, all I have to do at this point, all right, because it knows that it's just this one, I'm just going to send this out and publish this out to social media. So I'm going to click on that. This one should be relatively fast. So now, I just got finished going over 2 parts of the import. One, we use the article creator, and the other one, we use a text file. So now I want to jump over to the website. So let's do that first. Okay, so that's what we just posted out. Okay, so let's jump back here. Well, no, let's go over to Facebook. Let me do a refresh. And let me do a refresh here. And let me do a refresh on Mr. Pinterest. And do a refresh on Mr. LinkedIn, and last but not least, a refresh on Mr. Tumblr. So now, as you can see, now one thing too, like we always say, if you click on this, it's going to take you back to that article. So that was just Tumblr we was looking at. And you know, sometimes, like we said, some things take a little longer than others. And Pinterest has always been one of those ones that takes a little bit more time. So let's come back and look at that one in a minute. So let's go. Well, maybe let's see. It's up there. You go. So there's the one for LinkedIn. Let's jump over here to Pinterest, and there go Pinterest right there. So Pinterest is there. If we click on it, and like I said, if we click on we said that we want this to link back to the article, so it links back to the article. The next one we have Twitter. So let me do a refresh on Twitter, and sometimes these the images come up right away, and sometimes it takes a little bit more time, as you can see right here. So now that's Twitter, and the last one we have here, which is Facebook. So now you see we use we use AscendSocial All right, and everything went out just like we planned it. So now I say all done. It's going to clear the screen, and I just showed you how to use the import. Now there's a lot of other things that we can do with the import, of course, that I didn't show you here, that you will learn inside. We can't give you all our tricks, whatever, but we want to thank you for learning about the import text article, and we hope to see you inside. Thank you.